Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party. I'm David Sponheim. Welcome. Yes, we are up and running. Today is Conspiracy Monday. We're starting the show ready for action. Good evening. Yeah, it says the page does no longer exist that we just showed you of a drop of trimethyl aluminum over the skies of Norway by NASA. Somehow that story has been scrubbed. It happened last week, right after we got this news, that the Earth's magnetic field has greatly diminished. Yeah, weakening of the Earth's magnetic field has greatly accelerated. So it's been taken down. Any references to it at this point are lost. We profiled how they were dumping trimethyl aluminum and other barium and other elements in the atmosphere. I'm arguing the conspiracy theory is that the massive chemtrail spraying that's been happening over the Earth has weakened the magnetic structure we know as our ionosphere. And the magnetosphere that lives above us is definitely affected. This is an example of chemtrails being dumped over our skies every single day. This is a definite issue that cannot be ignored. And yet people around the world deny it exists and say, oh, this is just a conspiracy theory that chemicals are being dumped in the sky. We have more than enough evidence that this is not condensed air. This is actually a chemical drop. And they've used radio frequencies to get rid of the potential problem. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to get the header going here. Hang on just a second. Yeah, I just came in a little late today, and we were looking for the header for our show, and it doesn't seem to be here. Yeah. So let me go to scene 2. Let me grab it from here. That's the header. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. What's your question? Yeah, activated chatters. It's a problem. Censorship has been happening for some time in our show, and what we have is a situation where Mark is keeping people away using capacity server screens and activated chatters issues. But I'm the one who has an activated chatter system up in play. That's not Mark. So let me clear that off here. Hang on. We were attacked by a number of trolls last Saturday, and you'll be able to get in just a second. There you go. Okay, that should solve it. Thanks for calling me, reminding me. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're. This guy's got a VIP issue going on.
The former two-term Republican,
where he has to constantly hit refresh to get in. Yeah, you'll find that as a problem. Now activated chatters are no longer active. You can come on in, just hit the refresh page until it actually gets through. But this is censorship happening all the time on Vaughn. Thank you.
Yeah, one time I had to wait.
Yeah, a few hours is, I know. You guys are amazing to have to sit here and hit the refresh screen for a couple hours just to get in here. And I appreciate you calling and telling me that this is happening. Yep. All right. Thank you for calling. Take care. Bye-bye. Yeah, people can call in during the show, and I had activated chatters on last Saturday, and we had problems getting in. And they did, too. So that's interesting. That was taken down, the discussion of the drop. Let's talk about what's going on in the big news right now. Yeah, Ilhan Omar is under death threat, but that's not the big news. We'll get to that in just a second. The big news is Notre Dame had a massive cathedral fire. Affected the Doma. And it's definitely something that part of the renovation happened. Something happened, and flames started blasting. Apparently it's under control. And the damage is pretty severe. You can see it in these pictures. So, yeah, the rotunda is probably okay, but the Doma is definitely burned through right there at the top. See that? All right. Yeah, Alibaba's Jack Ma calls China's 72-hour work week a huge blessing. Now, this guy's coming out against America now that Trump started a trade war with him. I don't know if we can ascribe directed energy weapons to the fire. They were doing revisions inside, and it would have decimated the entire Notre Dame facility if it was a directed energy weapon. Really? Notre Dame was a Syrian refugee? Like a refuge? Wow. Julian Assange, is he? I thought he was still under CGI arrest. No, I didn't have a Dutch boy look today, Egghead. This hairdo is an evolution of sorts. It's designed to help me look younger. And my stylist said, Dave, you got to keep looking younger because you've got all these young people are, coming at you. Because as you probably know, this is the month I turned 59. And I'm really concerned about, not looking young enough to convince the American people I'm a young guy. Okay. Yeah. So Beto, the guy that says he wants to murder children in an essay he wrote, Beto looks pretty young. But Beto's like 45, I think. Let's see, Beto O'Rourke. Yeah, I don't know how old he is. Yeah. But let's take a look at this guy, I think he looks a little older than me, actually, and I'm at least 11 years older than him. Yeah. Wait a second. Am I Beto? I don't think so. Yeah, I think I look better than him. It's kind of amazing how I look exactly like the guy. I want to shut down the border. No, I want to take down the border fence. Yeah, that's what I want to do is take down the border fence. Yeah, take it down. Get rid of it. Yeah. What an idiot. And then he wanted to murder children, and then he had that hit and run accident where he nearly killed people. And then he tried to drive away. Is he 46, really? Wow, I'm like 13 years older than him, and I look better than he does. How do I do it? No, I haven't. I can't give you exactly my birth date for security purposes. I would like to show Jack Ma how to run his business, but unfortunately, treating people like slaves in an age of automation is a very backward mentality. I can't play that song right now, Ace Spade. Sorry. This is all recorded, and if we deviate from the necessary requirements by YouTube, they can't play anything. Yeah. I'm not wearing makeup or hair dye. No. I use a colorant. I do colorants on my face. Excuse me, on my hair. Face. Colorants. I use this thing that's made out of a plant protein. You leave it on your hair for a half an hour with an avocado. And I'm not making avocado references to anything weird like the whole Pizzagate thing. We found out in the pre-show that the word avocado is now a code word for eating children. I had no idea. Yeah, I was quite surprised. They're coming up with new words to describe the sick world that we're living in. Now, if you're wondering, well, eating children, what kind of a weird thought is that? Well, let me take Jack Ma's face off the screen because it's kind of bugging me. The super rich people, yeah, he wants people to work 72 hours a week. It's ridiculous. The super rich people are having some issues where they want to use their money for something that they think is good. And I'm going to ask all of you, if you had $1 trillion, unlimited amounts of money, what would you want in this world? And don't say a spa or a sauna or a waterbed or whatever the hell you... Do they even make waterbeds anymore? most rich, super rich people want a thing called immortality. They want to live forever. And there's a strong current of conspiracy theories that is directed toward this supposed adrenochrome that they derive from children when they're being tortured. That's the conspiracy theory in a nutshell. Now, you'll see all kinds of debunking and crap on the internet saying it's not true. There's 55,000 kids missing in America alone. 100,000 missing in Europe and England. So every single year, these kids are gone. They're missing, gone, completely wiped from the face of the earth. They never show up. I use a thing called art. I developed it. It's age regression therapy. Yes, art. Dr. Pepper. Okay. So my concern is that this really is this pizza trafficking, the Pizzagate story that's been told you can't talk about it on Twitter or on Reddit. You get banned your account if you talk about it. I think it's their attempt to shut down a dialogue about human trafficking. Yeah. We were reading an article that came to us from Scissorfight today. Thank you, Scissorfight. There's an author who's put together a story about Bill and Hillary, called Corey's Digs. And he talks in detail about, are Bill and Hillary Clinton involved with child trafficking? Now, we all know that Trump could have prosecuted Hillary on Benghazi or even on the Haitian money laundering or racketeering or whatever the hell they did, where they took all that money, $5.4 billion, and hardly any of it went to the people of Haiti. But Trump hasn't done anything. He hasn't processed any of the crimes that have gone on with Bill and Hillary. And that makes me convinced, absolutely convinced, that Bill and Hillary are definitely controlled by the deep state, and so does Donald. And that's why he's not pursuing any action against Bill or Hillary. But this man goes on to talk about how their period of time that they were involved as president and first lady and later as senator and secretary of state had certain conflicts with time where they actually were involved with infants and children in this time period. And he analyzed it, and he shows how close Hillary and Bill were to children during this time, and how many different times they met with children. And it just went into detail, and he talked about all the programs they did for children. And from the upside, it looks like Bill and Hillary really care about kids. But then there's those incidences where, like a woman named Peterson died in Haiti when she tweeted that one agency in Haiti was actually working to do human trafficking. Her name was Monica Peterson. And she tweeted about it and then died the next day of a very bizarre killing. The Clinton body count has the story of Monica Peterson. If you want to read about it. Number 14, Monica Peterson killed for investigating Clinton sex trafficking. Research fellow at the Human Trafficking Center died under suspicious circumstances while investigating child trafficking in Haiti. So I'm going to give you guys a couple links, to the story. Here you go. That's Corey Diggs. I'm going to give it back to you because Scissorfight gave it to us. And this is the story about Monica Peterson that may be of interest to you as well. Yeah, if you want to research this yourself, it's certainly worth a while. Her death is significant because she was exposing on Twitter Hillary Clinton and then died the next day. But then you have to look at the Awan brothers and, of course, Seth Rich. Let's not forget Seth Rich and his involvement in the WikiLeaks was not investigated by Mueller. Yep, nothing. Here's Seth Rich standing right in front, or sitting right in front of Imran Awan, the guy at the center of the email conflict that was never investigated. Seth Rich is in the front. He died right the next day after they took this picture. So why has Seth Rich not been investigated by Mueller? How come none of this has been investigated? It looks like they wanted to get rid of the source of the WikiLeaks, not in any way find out more. And speaking of that, George Conway, the husband of Kellyanne Conway, has made a statement about his concerns regarding what apparently was stated by William Barr regarding the obstruction and collusion charges. And I'll read you what George said. Let me go to my Twitter account, third party, and get there for you. Let's do that. If you haven't seen my new picture, I put a new picture on Twitter of my more recent picture taken in 2017 when I went to a conference with Sarah in Seattle. You'll see my new look there. And the background is the beautiful Puget Sound. But I tweeted this right here. Yeah. So George Conway reveals there's a certain thing in what William Barr presented. And when he wrote this, he used parentheses to describe something preceding the statement. And I'll enlarge it for you. It says the investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities. But you notice this mark right here? And he noticed it. I hadn't noticed it, but he's an attorney. George Conway actually noticed it. It means something. There's a phrase ahead of this. And he's going to go out on a limb and say that that word that's missing is, want to bet it starts with although? So if it starts with although the investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated activities with the Russian government in its election interference activities, something else is there. And he believes what the redacted report is presented, it'll show a huge difference between, yeah. We are not offering a 1,000, no, 1,005. We're offering 1,010. Yeah. Yeah, we'll be offering 1,010. Yep. So if you look at the, yeah, as soon as Yang wins the primary and is the lead candidate, we'll be offering 1,010. Right now, he's just a guy mouthing off, just like me. I'm offering 1,010. He's offering 1,005. I told you I'll bump anybody $5 who comes out with anything higher than my basic income plan. And I've been the guy who originated this a long, long time ago. Yeah, it's untenable what he's offering, but I'm offering whatever he is and bumping it $5. If he is a legitimate Democratic candidate, I will offer 1,010. Officially, we're offering 500 right now, but I'm more than willing to match him and bump him $5 if he's going to talk through his ass. Sure. You want to get what's coming? Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's take a look. You want to see that video like a retard? He's not, actually. The guy's a YouTube star. His name is LA Turtle, and he's got like 444,000 subs, and he makes a lot of money on his videos. So maybe you could act as stupid as he does and make some money. If you avoid talking about politics or starting a third party, you won't be banned.
Hey, do you ever wonder, like, what is going on? I mean, like, do you ever, like, wake up or do something and you're just like, what the fuck is going on?
No, apparently he makes a lot of money doing these videos. No, I'm serious. Now, if you want to make money on AdSense, you don't want to have an opinion about anything. You don't want to start a political movement, because I'm thoroughly censored on YouTube. Yeah. So he does whatever he has to do. Yeah, that's the only video you like, I know. Well, we got a lot of stories to deal with, not just George Conway's take on the collusion issue. It's getting weirder and weirder for people who are dealing with kind of the awareness of corruption in our government. Now they're putting a new law together where clicking on terrorist propaganda once could mean 15 years in prison. Yeah, a head of counter-terror policing says there will not be an explosion in arrests, but a new counter-terror laws likened to thought crime by the United Nations inspector have come into force. I don't know where they're being implemented, but Sajid Javid said that the Counterterrorism and Border Security Act of 2019 gives police the powers they need to disrupt terrorist plots earlier and ensure that those who seek to do us harm face just punishment. So apparently, this desire to stop terrorism may very well impinge on your free speech. And this, EU calls Project Gutenberg Archive, 15 million ebooks and the Grateful Dead recordings and Prelinger archive terrorism, and demands removal from the Internet Archive. So they're calling anything counterculture, anti-establishment terrorism. See the slippery slope this is? So it could variably stop your freedom of speech. And that's inappropriate. You can't use those words here. Yeah. I don't know what's going on with you. I thought you were accepting your transgenderism and owning your flesh. Accept your operation. Just because you had your penis removed doesn't mean you should hate yourself. Were you checked for psychological review, Anne, to do that? Did a psychiatrist actually decide if you wanted to have your penis removed? Okay, look at this atrocity. Oh my gosh, it's getting worse. I'll put this in the category of mind control, or no, police control. I'll get to that in a second. Meanwhile, Shepard Smith shuts down French commentators suggesting Notre Dame fire wasn't an accident. Wow. Shepard Smith working for the Illuminati. Yeah, I don't see Shepard Smith here, but it says the news anchor Shepard Smith abruptly cut off in an interview on Monday with a French commentator floating conspiracy theories about the fires burning. So Shepard Smith didn't want to have anything to do with that. Smith's guest was French media analyst and former elected official Philippe Carcenti, who said the blaze burned at the Parisian landmark was like a 9/11. He said it's like a 9/11, it's a French 9/11, it's a big shock. Carcenti said the church was there for more than 850 years. Even the Nazis didn't dare to destroy it. Wow. Well, they were doing renovations, so until the actual arson investigation comes out. Okay, growing health risks. Wow. Yep. Climate change is not the issue. Yeah, Yang. Climate change is a slight issue. No. We're dealing with something bigger here, Yang. Something Yang won't talk about. Chemtrails. This is all factored in. If you can't look at chemtrails as part of the scenario causing global climate change, then you're not really looking at the problem. Yeah, your Democratic groups are just completely blind to the chemtrail issue. That's why a third party is way better than a two-party system. We're willing to analyze things based on that, not some cap and trade mentality. This global climate change is orchestrated by chemtrails, not your butt flatulating. So you Democrats really have your head up your ass when it comes to these issues. Yeah. So I think you have to realize that that's not flying here, Yang. I'm letting you stay here because, like I said, I'm going to offer, if Yang is winning the nomination for the Democratic Party, I will offer 1,010. $5 bigger, more than Yang is offering per month for every U.S. citizen. David, I saw you on YouTube at Sunday's Coachella Honor Yard. Really? I didn't know I was on. Really? I missed the whole Coachella thing. I was going to do it. Okay, we got a couple weird stories to talk about. Let's prepare you for that. Try to lower your IQ a few points. All right, now you can talk about these issues. Mom angry the teacher won't serve her vagina cookies to second graders. Can you believe this? This is horrible. Being made fun of about being a four eyes was bad enough, so my heart broke for this child who would forever be the kid whose mom screamed about vaginas in class. Ah, look at this. It's an installment of Dear Reddit. A teacher describes how a mother bought cookies decorated to look like vaginas into her second grade class and decided you can use these to teach the kids about the woman's vagina today. This is horrible. It's almost not even worth talking about. All right, next thing that may not be worth talking about, dress code for parents. Mom says school turned her away because of her outfit. Wow. Let's take a look. I didn't know they had a dress code.
Jocelyn Lewis is a big Marilyn Monroe fan and is in the process of getting her hair done, which is why she has it covered.
I can see if it's a student, yes, they have a dress code. I understand that.
But I'm not a student, so I have no dress code. So who are you to tell me how to dress?
Monday morning, Jocelyn says she unenrolled her daughter from Lamar High School so she could transfer the 15-year-old to Madison High School.
When I went to Lamar, I had no problem. But when I got to Madison High School, they refused me access to the premises because of what I had on.
Jocelyn alleges an administrator disapproved of her outfit.
She said that my headscarf was out of dress code and my dress was too short.
The mother says her dress meets the fingertip length test and would understand if her rear end or chest were hanging out. She also doesn't understand why having her hair covered was an issue.
Not saying it's a part of my religion, but it could have been. I just wanted to wear it up. Who are you to say that I can't wear my hair up in a scarf?
Jocelyn says she was not aware of a parent dress code and alleges no one could show it to her when asked.
I'm mad. I'm furious. I'm mad. My child needs her education.
She says she'll try to register her daughter again tomorrow and will dress differently.
My child's education, anyone's child's education should be more important than what someone has on. That shouldn't matter.
All right, well, cool. I think that's great. She can dress as she wants. I agree. Bernie Sanders releases his 10 years of tax returns showing how his 2016 presidential run vaulted him into wealth. Now he's in the one percenters. The La Brea tar pits are an example of oil being a renewable energy resource. Yeah, the La Brea tar pits are there. If we were to draw oil out of that area, it'd probably keep coming up. We could probably, mine and probably bring out a tremendous amount of oil out of La Brea tar pits if we wanted to. I know there's been a lot of effort to look at, revisit shale oil mining on the coastline of California. Some people believe that the recent fires in Paradise, California were essentially done by PG&E, owned and underwritten by the Rothschild family, to get rid of all that land without having to buy it off, to create an area that would be perfect for mining gas or oil. Yeah. Here's a fracking map of the California coastline presented by PG&E, and you can see the same areas that are affected are exactly the same areas that have been under fire the past 3 years. And many people believe that directed energy weapons have been used to create these terrible fires.
Where in the smirk did they come from? Because it's like 9:30. Where did they come from? I get to Pearson and Clark, and there's another, at least 30 or 40.
Okay, this woman actually encountered a series of events where a year before the Paradise fires, DHS was there and the NSA was there. They were setting up transmitters in the Paradise, California area that may have been used to activate the fires and in some way accelerate them. They heavily sprayed that area with barium and aluminum for years, which is also an accelerant. So you look at this and you go, wow, this is another serious weird thing that happened. People that did come to these events, which were outside of Paradise, noticed that hardly anybody was there. Hardly anybody was there at these Red Cross events to find safe haven for the fires that were happening. So I contend that there hasn't been an arson investigation by our government into the 56 fires that happened last year. And that alone makes me think that they're covering it up. There's missing information. And you look at this empty space here and all these different events that were set up around as a backup for people leaving their homes. I think these people just died. They burned in their houses. It was a terrible disaster that just got worse and worse, and nobody's even investigating this. That's my take on it. And I do believe that the PG&E is underwriting this entire thing, and which is owned by the Rothschilds. Another interesting fact, the Rothschilds own the water rights in Sonoma County. They purchased those with the Rockefellers. So if they're going to geoengineer the dehydration of the coast with chemtrails, which is many people believe this is happening daily in California, Southern California, and Northern California is getting open like a lot of rain, Southern California getting very little. They're orchestrating the evaporation of the area, and they set fire to it, creating exactly what they want. Open land not controlled by any private owners that they can mine for gas. And one other person suggested that maybe they're going to put a rail line in there, a maglev rail, you know. Just why use eminent domain laws to buy property legally? Why not just burn them out? So the allegation, the conspiracy theory is that they've committed genocide in areas of California. Yeah, that's the allegation. That's the conspiracy theory. Okay, the show's been on for a long time. What's your problem? Well, just because you don't agree with me, we do have people in here who have their own views. That's perfectly fine. Even the Yang Gang can come in and hang out. We're now up to 1,010. Once Yang wins the presidential nomination for the Democratic Party.
Oh, if
Yang wins the nomination for the Democratic Party, I will offer 1,010. But I'm still offering $500 a month officially for every U.S. citizen who's not collecting Social Security or disability. Sarah is here. Thank you. Sarah, thank you for coming in. It is, yeah, it's just a kind of a wild night. I'll give you a little update. Notre Dame had a massive cathedral fire.
Cathedral?
Yep, there's been a massive, one person was interrupted by Shepard Smith, who was trying to say that they believe it was arson and somebody caused it. Even Hitler avoided going after Notre Dame. This church has been there since 850 years ago, and people think that it was saved from total destruction, but the dome is gone. Everything about it is under, and it was going through all kinds of revisions. Let's take a look at this.
And we're going to begin tonight in Paris, where one of the world's most historic landmarks is burning. A devastating fire has swept through Notre Dame. The cathedral, visited by 13 million people a year, took almost 2 centuries to build, starting in 1163. Today, flames brought it down, much of it down in hours, including 2/3 of the roof. The entire island Notre Dame sits on has been evacuated. At least one firefighter suffered serious injuries after flames toppled the steeple. French President Macron said, "Part of us is burning." He vows to rebuild. We have 2 reports this evening, beginning with Roxana Saberi in Paris.
Sirens and shock swept through the heart of the French capital.
Oh là là, les flammes, c'est terrible.
Smoke billowing from Notre Dame Cathedral could be seen across the city as the great spire of one of the world's most recognizable landmarks went up in flames. The blaze spread up the steeple, seemingly untouched by the fire hoses working below. 400 firefighters battled flames more than 200 feet above ground, with no water drops from the air. The added weight might have flattened the entire building.
It's not really a tool that urban fire departments have in their belts. When you see those water drops being done on forest fires and things of that nature, they're trying to hit a broad swath of area with a lot of water. You had a lot of things working against the firefighters here. So many things were working against them that sometimes when you pull up on the scene of a fire, the die is already cast before you can even go to work.
As crowds gathered on the sidewalk, the iconic spire collapsed inside the cathedral. Over the hours, one of the most visited sites in Paris was reduced to a charred skeleton. A cathedral spokesperson said the entire interior was burning.
Notre Dame is not just a building, it's the beating heart of Paris, and seeing it like an open heart on the medical table, it's heartbreaking.
Wow, this is pretty serious, everyone. The whole idea of of a massive fire taking out such an edifice. And I understand Muslims are celebrating the burning of this edifice.
Oh goodness, I'm not going to talk about that.
I don't think Sarah's going to talk about that, but
I mean, I'm not going to talk about people celebrating someone's.
yeah, I know. Well, Ilhan Omar is now getting death threats. You probably know about that.
Yeah.
And because of what she said about 9/11, belittling it, talking about something some people did, minimizing it, and we still don't have the people that perpetrated 9/11 in custody to this day, which is a real indictment of our military and our investigation ability, the FBI, and the lack of investigations. Well, all I can say is I've been living under death threats for a lot longer than Omar, and I've never had any press coverage at all in America. Around the world, we're being seen by 875,000 people today. We got a picture of that from Andrew. And Andrew's in a little war of words over people accusing him of altering that using the console. And Andrew insists that he's not. And he's fighting for that. He basically spotted some scripting, too, that he believes is going on in our show. So we're looking at the authenticity of that. Scripting that would censor us. But I've been living under death threats for 10 years. Sarah and I have had a lot of problems. But we don't have any media coverage at all. And Omar's getting nothing but media coverage, which is very interesting. The average Americans are being suppressed, yet Muslims get a chance to speak out. It's interesting. Yeah. Glenn Beck saying she's belittling 9/11. That's the best way to describe what she's doing. Yeah. I think Glenn's right about that. But Donald is inflaming it by creating all this controversy. The Washington Post put a picture of her with the 9/11 towers behind it, which created a lot of controversy. And I do believe that Donald Trump is wafting the flame of division. I do. All right. I'm ready to step out. I'll be back in a little bit. Sarah's here to take over. Thank you.
Yeah, you're probably right. Behavior about that. This is probably one of my favorite hair clips. Has a little. It's big, as big as my face. Hello, Conservative for Life. So, speaking of which, well, I'm glad you're here, Conservative for Life, because David and I have decided. After talking to David, I've agreed to that the PolitiChat is just too stressful for me, and it's not getting the notoriety that David needs of followers. So I've decided that I've agreed with him that I don't need to be doing that on Saturday night. iVlog is a few seconds ahead of on live. Okay. However, I do think it would be good for me to go onto Twitter and to just interact the way I used to. No, Bangalitis? I just announced that I'm not going to be doing PolitiChat.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, I proved that we're being censored.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say hi. And then well, that's good. That's all I want right there. And then I'm playing around with my different chat rooms to make them bigger and all that. Hair up, hair down, doesn't matter. I think it's all good. That's funny, Real Magoo. That's kind of funny. kind of funny. Okay, I do think, you know, I'm trying to avoid the news. I get enough news listening to David, but watching, going and purposely reading the news, I am trying to avoid that. But I do think I'll look at my Twitter feed, which I am following news organizations on there. And then you guys can suggest anyone you want me to follow. That would be fine too. Sorry, I went off screen to just log into my Twitter account. Okay. I'll come back on. Now, oh, I'm not going to do that, Zellfire, never. I don't have a basement for one. And I'm just too nice for two. I guess I'll follow this and follow this and follow this, and I don't know if I want to follow that. Okay. So Sanders disagrees with Trump on virtually every issue, but what upsets him the most is whether you're progressive or moderate or conservative. The American people, he doesn't think the American people are proud that our president is a pathological liar. True. True. The Parisians are singing Ave Maria outside of the burning cathedral, or Notre Dame Cathedral. Thanks. I'll just retweet this one. And am I following you? Oh, I'll follow you. And somebody said, oh, I know I was going to follow somebody else. Cheers to Me follows me. Yes, finally. Yeah. Oh. Yes. Okay. Let's go back home to the home page. You never chat on iVlog. Okay. I'm reading what you're saying. Is it clear to you that Putin and Trump's ATP mole? Oh. Not completely clear to me, Psycho. A little bit. I mean, I've seen a little bit of evidence of that. Very little, though. Why is iVlog saying guest chat off? Yet other guests are able to chat. I don't know. Okay, well, you can feel free to email it to us, americasthirdparty@gmail.com, and then let me know that you were that you emailed me, because I don't always read all of my emails. There was somebody wanted me to follow Mad Puppy. But I'm not sure. I have to ask a question when I see someone again. If there is oh. Okay. All right. The only question I had is, does that person have a Twitter account, or is that a troll Twitter account? Which it could be a troll Twitter account, because obviously I was trolled on Twitter. My question for all of you is there any, do you need me to, would you like me to follow any of you on Twitter? Well, it's from somebody else, Conservative for Life. But you're right. Thank you for, you and I did report that person and got that person removed for impersonating me, which I appreciate that. You're right. I should just ban them. You joke and fun anymore? You don't joke, or you do? You've changed? Do I work on Saturdays? I do not work on Saturdays, thankfully. I seem mellow after work. I have a good good job, I guess. I enjoy my job a lot. No, I'm not on spring break. I had spring break, was not last week, but the week before. And that was good. Oh, I see. No, not too many. I mean, nothing I can't handle. Oh, thank you, Andrew. I actually appreciate that. Because there are certain words that I would love to block out. I actually sent him a list of words that I would like blocked out. Oh, I wonder if it's that. Let's not go there, God's gift to women. Thank you. Let's move on. Does David freak when I'm home in the summer? No, David really enjoys me being home in the summer. Just like I enjoy being with David. He's such a wonderful person. How about this? I'll just mute him for a little while. No, I don't do any of that. Thank you. What am I looking at? I'm looking at my, I'm just looking at the screen. Right? No, I think it's more than that. I don't know what David's IQ is. He has his IQ test on his website. David doesn't Uber. Yes, sorry, you're right, Conservative for Life. The Von room is being extra trolly tonight. Oh. Why doesn't David just ban him then? Maybe I don't want guest chat back. Oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to go ahead and do that. It'll slow down the chat and David will just make sure you activate. Yeah. It's not that difficult. Ah, David turned off activated chatters. You are welcome. Thank you guys for that. What does activated chatters mean? Do they have to activate something? You don't really get it? Yeah, they just have to go in and verify their email. It's like, yes, I have an email account, which is super easy to create an email account. Yes, my cat is perfectly fine. She eats and drinks water, and she's well. She's doing well. And she's taking her CBD oil with her food each day. Who's trolling me, Gunther? I didn't answer your question. I didn't read your question earlier. Of course David has a chance of becoming president. It really means that in order for David to be president, it's all up to you to get out there and campaign for him. And he's such a great guy. I mean, you could definitely do it. Gunther, I'm going to give you a little break. Well, we'll start by, just giving you a little break. Frog, it's all over Twitter. Everyone on Twitter is talking about my cat. What? Well, maybe David believes he's putting a spike in the system. Well, obviously you are already activated, Ping, because I have activated chatters only on, and maybe that's it. All right. You want tickets to ZZ Top? Yeah, sorry. I'm having a great night. I was just having a little bit of trolling activity. And that's pretty much every night. I have a question, Scissor Fight. Do you have a Twitter account? Do any of you have a Twitter account? Okay, you don't do Twitter anymore. All right, good to know. Yeah, I know Conservative for Life has one. Oh, no, thank you. I don't do Snapchat or anything like that. I'm surprised you got an activated account. Twitter's a dead form of social media. You haven't used it for like 3 years. Frog Dog's cat's alive and well. Oh, and you got kicked off of Facebook? Wow. And that's the thing. Yeah, they did double the character limit on it. Yes, I did know that, Ping. Real Magoo thinks Reddit's the best place for news. I know there's a few people that do go on Reddit. Some people like Snapchat. What about Instagram? The thing about Snapchat, you know, people think it's Snapchat safe because your images disappear. But anything you put online, people can take a screenshot of it and then, or change it, you know. Someone is claiming that someone took a picture of me and then made me appear like I didn't have any hair, like this, I guess. Yeah, a Snapchat's more personal, isn't it? Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of look like a nun. Oh, there you go. WikiHow has an article about how you can screenshot Snapchat. No, I don't get news from Snapchat. I prefer not to get the news. Hello, Evil Dance to Good. Oh, right. I think this was originally created by Mad Dog or something. Like, who would do that? Whatever. Good to know that David would look great no matter what, even if he didn't have any hair. David always looks great. He's fantastic. Okay, I got trolled. Okay, Gunther, thanks. The pay the troll, pay the troll toll. I think that where you want to go is probably Chatter something or some other site, because this is not the right site for you, God's gift to women. Obviously, if that's what you're after, this isn't the right site. Twitter and Tumblr, things are trending. Oh, goodness gracious. Oops. Good night, DT Allura. Have a great night. David and I had a wonderful day today. Well, a wonderful day together yesterday. Why don't you just go enjoy that? Love to you too, Allura. And then I get bored and then I'm like, well, I kind of do want to look at the news, but I don't. Hello, Candinez 34. I think you like the number 34. No, I don't need any moderation on Vaughn. I turned on activated chatters only, which helped. And I'm just going to leave it on. Maybe Scissor Fight or you guys can tell him that it's on and he can turn it off. And have fun with that. And then I'll come in and turn it off. Turn activated chatters only back on. And Gunther says it doesn't work, which, oh well. I did hear that the Notre Dame burned down. That is very sad. Good things happened today. I did some digging, and because I'm trying to transplant some mallow bushes. Well, they will be bushes. I'm trying to transplant some mallow plants. Oh, it works for you. You did have to activate, but the email was in your spam. Yeah, slowly tilling the soil. So I just dug, last week I dug out the mallow plants out of the ground. And then this week, today I dug new holes for them. And then tomorrow we'll transplant the mallow plants. And then I also have some holes dug to plant some dahlias, which are my favorite flower. I don't want the dahlias growing in the garden. I mean, I do want the dahlias growing in the garden. I don't like mallow growing in the garden, even though mallow is what marshmallows come from the root. And anyway, they're just kind of a scraggly looking plant. No, CBD man, I pretty much know what's going on. I might not like what's going on, but I know what's going on. And actually I wake up and it's just a beautiful day, because every day I wake up and there's David. It's a kind of like, it grows into like a bush, but then in the, there's it's called a mallow tree. Mallow is the name of it, and it's like a bush. And then it has these big, huge, long roots that are like, they kind of look like radishes, and yeah. And they have flowers on them. It does sound like that's something that Antique, aka Drag King, would do. Is it even worth growing CBD plants in Washington anymore? Well, you have to have a license.
Yeah, license.
So probably not.
You need a shellfish license.
And you cannot grow, I would think you'd have to grow CBD plant, you'd have to grow, and no, you can't grow for personal use in Washington State. It's legal to buy it, but it's not legal to grow it.
Yeah, there's a lottery list, there's like a waiting list to become a grower, and it's like, I think $1,300 or something a year.
Yeah, something like that.
Whereas in California, you're allowed to do it for personal use, and Michigan, personal use, that type of thing. Hey, thanks so much, Sarah. Thank you. I'm gonna take over. I made you a lovely, thanks CBD man. I made you a lovely baked fish, baked cod dinner with potatoes and onions and peas. This is kind of a New England cod dinner. My mother used to make this for me when I was growing up. It's got the potatoes. I've made sweet potatoes for you too.
So, just
Okay, we're up and running. Thanks, Sarah. Have a nice dinner.
Yes, we just beamed into a new planet.
Yeah, we're here at the future planet of the...
I love that feature. It is like beam me up, Scotty.
I love this background. Yeah, it's really great. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, thank you. Will do.
Help yourself. All right, so yeah, we're getting a whole new group of people in our shows every night because they're trying to find their way in. They can't get in any other way. If they catch us on at third party and they're lucky enough to see our Periscope link, they can click on that, and they have to have a Twitter account, and most people around the world don't have the ability to get Twitter accounts because Twitter blocks worldwide viewers and access. So Periscope is not accessible to people who watch our show on UHF. And then there's iVlog, which has Flash, which is an outdated system that's slowly being phased out because of security leaks. It took you 400 refreshes before you got into the chat at Vaughn. I know. And then Vaughn's getting paid to keep people out. And he got rid of his entire guest feature. And now we have to go to activated chatters to keep the attacks down to minimum. And Mark is even allowing people that continually attack me to have activated chatter status. So don't think that alone will be a guarantee. He's been known to give people that I've asked him specifically to ban access. So, and then if you want to get access there, you can't without refreshing 400 times, CBD man. The Frog Dog is in the room, and he's the guy who tuned into that CBD company in Oregon. And what was it, Lazarus? Is that the name of it? Lazarus, Frog Dog?
Yes, Lazarus Naturals in Portland, Oregon. 60% discount for people who have low income.
So Lazarus Naturals.
They're a veteran, or they're disabled on that Social Security.
Great. Well, that's good. 60% discount if you can present, very little income.
It's a good deal, Dave. I recommend posting it. It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, I bet it is. I envy you because we pay $60 to $80 for a container, and I can't prove that I have no money because I'd have to send an asset report, and I don't have an asset to set except my ass, which is setting right here. So I guess I'll get stuck with $60 to $80 an ounce or whatever the hell.
You could try calling them, Dave, and see if they can hook you up with.
Can I plead with them? I'll beg them. I'll say, hey, could you get me some discounts, man? I really could use a discount. My buddy online, Frog Dog, got some stuff, man, and be cool. Lazarus
Yeah, so
Naturals.
you got a large following and you're willing to spread the news if you can get
Cool. Well, great. See, Flash is supposed to be interactive, but even with the interaction, we've got about a 5-second delay between all the different inputs and outputs to a Frog Dog and a Procam here.
It's true. It's kind of a issue.
Thanks, Gunter. Yeah, he said, Gunter says activated chatters don't work.
Dave, I love your show. I love it so much. I wish I could come here every day, but sometimes I'm busy, man.
That's fine, man. Well, thank you very much for coming in, Frog Dog. And your kitty cat looks cute, too. Yeah, thank you, man. Well, you know, he's battling spondylosis of some sort. You know, I'm battling spondylosis because I've got an excessive amount of spondylosis in me. But he's got a severe back injury, and it's helping with the swelling around his back. I do a thing with my back. I've got like a lumbar issue that I inherited from my family. What I do is exercise, and I eat high amino acid liver sometimes if I've got a back problem, and that seems to make it better. Ironically, that and shrimp, because shrimp is natural in glucosamine, which helps the sinewy muscle tissue in your back. So that's something I think helped me remediate over the years. But it comes back when I bend down and pick up weeds and stuff, and I do that all the time. So I'm constantly stressing out my back, going, I need to do the deep bends anyway, because my kata in karate requires it. So I've known people that use a different stance in karate because of a lower back issue. The lower back fitness does work. Okay, stretch it out, yeah. I'm not a practicing Catholic psychobehavior because of the Vatican's desire to build a building that looks like a snake. And I haven't been a practicing Catholic for a long time, ever since the Vatican, didn't prosecute pedophiles. But I was baptized Catholic, and I remember the event. I was 6 weeks old. It was a wonderful. I have memories of things that most people don't have memories of. It's strange. Apparently, I was so observant during my youth that I was able to pick up all this stuff. But look at this. This is the inside of the Vatican, and this is what they created. It's like the head of a snake. And then you've got the outside, looks just like the snake too. It's very weird. That's a conspiracy theory, I guess, but it's kind of a conspiracy fact that the Vatican's shaped like a snake. Anyway, then there's the interior, which has no crucifix whatsoever. And then there's also these pictures of demons around what appears to be an image of Lucifer. And if they hadn't had the Lucifer word in their Latin Mass now, I would really, really be inclined to, consider being a Catholic again, but because I believe in God. I just don't think God is living at the Catholic Church right now. I have a heterosexual bias. I guess I do. I'm heterosexual. Does that make me biased? Heterosexual? Is that okay? Is it okay to be biased to be heterosexual? Yeah. Print screen, what do you got, Ann? Well, it's taking forever to open up. Kind of like you at sex. Yeah. What's it like being a transgender? I'm just curious, Ann. You want to talk about it? You captured a light shot screenshot? Doesn't seem to exist. Blaming Ann. I love fries. Posting. Okay. Okay. Thanks for sharing, Ann. Get her done. Oh, you got. Oh, you're getting her done. Yeah, that's you know who. Yeah, he does this reverse lookup on Twitter. I know. They're rolling in right now. I was just trying to see how it worked. It does apparently work, yeah. I was giving it a test. I'm so glad we're going through a VPN. We don't have to worry about people trying to access our IP address. It's amazing. You know, last time they did that, they failed miserably. What happened was they tried to ban us on the internet, and it turned out we kept coming back. 4chan attacked us 2 years in a row. We totally defeated 4chan in their effort to stop us. Nobody can stop me. In fact, we even have a theme song that says "Can't Stop," but we can't play it because YouTube tried to stop us. Yeah, here it is. At least 8 seconds of it if you want to listen to it.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight.
Can't stop, can't stop. Yeah. So I can stop, but I was just trying it out. No, we're just testing it out, Gunter. Gunter, it takes activated people to get in here. So, are you the doxing troll, Gunter? Because you said that anybody can get in right now, and that's just not it. The record Dream should be short like Dream Tech. Are you working on a new program? Yes, you did, Gunter. You said that anybody can get in because Mark didn't create an activated chatter system. I read exactly what you said. You said Mark didn't create an activated chatter system. Now, why did you say that, Gunter? No, that's not what you said. I have perfect knowledge of what you said, Gunter. Do I have to ban you too? Please don't talk to women that way. Yeah, refer to them in nice terms. God's gift to women is here. Good news. Arby's just brought the brown sugar bacon sandwiches with or without turkey. Well, that's good. It's back rub time for Kitty Cat. Oh, Frog Dog's giving his cat a back rub. He has like a 30-pound cat there. Yeah. She expects the back rub too, you know. Have you trained her to rub your back? Have you trained her to actually, you know, give you a back rub? Because cats can do that, you know. I need this. I guess I do.
Yeah, he's at the end of life, Dave. He's getting ready to die. He's got heart failure.
Oh, I'm so sorry. How old is he? How old is the guy, the fella?
He's around 13.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I'm so sorry.
I 13 years old.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to my cat passing away, and she's 16, so I'm lucky to have had 16 years with her. But keep feeding him some CBD oil, man. He'll make it. Yeah. I have great hope in CBD oil. All right. Wow, we got a lot of links to go through here. Look at the QAnon people, which they're so stupid, it's beyond belief. They actually believe that Donald Trump is stopping the deep state. When Donald Trump is so owned with the sex tapes in play and all the different money interests he has controlling him. Yeah, that I've got a solid belief that total collusion is going on right now. Russia's still calling him up and telling him what to do. And our government's still oblivious to it. The only way we're ever going to find out is if the Democrats can actually read the Mueller report without being redacted. I believe that William Barr is in violation. But let's listen to this Trump-tard talk for a bit.
To this channel, you will receive the notification. Also, follow me on Twitter. Would affect U.S. economy from avocados to autos. Trucks went to...
You know, there's a conspiracy theory about avocados that apparently it represents people eating children. It's like, what? If you haven't heard about this theory that there's actually a group of elitists that actually live off the adrenal glands of tortured children. And they're saying avocados are the key word that they're using now to talk about it. So I don't talk about avocados much, except to say that Trump cost them to go up $1 a package when he lamely said he was going to close the border last week. So now everybody's paying an extra $1. You're at least $1 poorer every day that you buy avocados. Yeah, I'm afraid you're not allowed to post pictures of naked people here. I just noticed that you have a naked picture in here. That's not appropriate. Sure, Howie. We can play the Larry bit. Yeah. We welcome trolls like you, Howie. We've had even worse trolls in the past couple weeks. Yeah. So you want the Larry Sinclair video on tap, unadulterated, or do you want the full 45-minute or 1 hour press conference where he talked to everybody about Donald Young?
Good or it's bad. I am saying from the day that it was done and the day after, once I returned home, I was asked questions about the procedure and the process. And I had a polygraph done once before, back in the 80s. And I specifically instructed the examiner, I knew darn well you didn't put the blood pressure cup and whatever on the fingertips on the same hands. And he was advised of the nerve damage and the fact of the circulation, and I have bilateral ulnar nerve entrapment in both arms. All right, I can't tell you how they did it. I will tell you that his report from Dr. Gelb to the report to Dr. Bartlett completely contradict each other. The information from Dr. Gelb, who is not a doctor at all, was never sent in totality to Mr. Bartlett. I cannot tell you. Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. Returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Well, you heard it, and he did pass the lie detector test with 99% accuracy. Yes. Drag King is doing some bad things. I'm going to be muting and possibly banning him again if he keeps it up. He got upset because I talked about his transgender operation that he's so upset about. It seems that all these transgenders are really, really upset about losing their penis in that procedure. And every doctor and psychiatrist that's ever been interviewed said it's self-injurious and it's a mental illness. Yet, for some reason, the Democrats want to endorse transgenderism, especially among children. I mean, come on. I purposely have said I do not support LGBTQ. And I hope a lot of you Democrats come into the center and join me in America's Third Party who feel the same way. There's no way we should push that on people. But I don't want discrimination like Trump does. I don't want to kick people out of the military who happen to have been through boot camp. People who've been through boot camp and have endured the entire experience. They would want to be a transgender in the military. I mean, who really doesn't make sense of the simple fact that you're a warm body, you can do a job. You know, it doesn't matter if you're tranny or what. I'm not endorsing transgenderism in any way, shape, or form. I noticed a little sniffle when he was talking about snorting crack with Barack Obama. You notice that thing that they do? Remember, that happened to... No, I'm not saying that our president is a crack user or a smoker of pot, but Barack Obama did smoke crack. And we do know that that Trump has a sniffle issue. Yeah, we've heard it. Now I'm going to try to play at least 8 seconds of Trump sniffling without being taken off the internet. Here we go. That's all I'm allowed to play. I cut it down to 6 seconds because it was just too much. Yeah, I hope they don't kick me off the internet. Well, let's be clear. Barack Obama smoked crack at Occidental College, and he wrote about it in The Audacity of the Hope, which he met Michael LaVaughn Robinson during this time period. Now, there's a good chance that Michael LaVaughn Robinson, who later became Michelle, in fact, did enjoy that with him, but we don't know for sure. Insulation is the act of blowing something into a body cavity. Insufflation has many medical units. Okay, insufflation. Okay, well, boy, Howie, it seems like you're getting interested in maybe medicine. Why don't you become one of those, scumbag administrators? They've got a CEO in my town that makes $400,000 a year, runs the hospital, which overspent $22 million on a building that we, the taxpayer, paid $50 million for. It cost $72 million or $62 million to build this thing. No, $72 million to build this. Anyway, she gets $400,000 to make decisions like that, putting in annexes they don't even need. And she's getting a retirement plan of $100,000, right under $100,000 a month. Excuse me, a year. $100,000 a year. Isn't that amazing? All she has to do is sit at home and think back at all the great things she did, like build a wing that cost an extra $22 million beyond their budget. Yeah. Hey, though I walk through the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Look at that. One brave chicken. Amazing. That is a really popular restaurant, KFC. Yes, the Mueller report is coming Thursday with color-coded cuts, and I understand William Barr is going to ask the Russians to give the stamp of approval on it to make sure it's completely cleared with the Kremlin to prove once and for all that there is no collusion. The most consequential editing process in the country is almost over. Oh, good. The nearly 400-page confidential report he completed last month using color coding to conceal classified or other protected information. What a joke. That report should belong to the United States people, not some special committee, and it should be open for all of us to look at. This is ridiculous. This is an abridgment and a usurpation of our power as people. You didn't know you had any power? I know. Very few people know they have power. You have as much power as you want to exert. If you believe in a third party, we could all have power. But if you're one of those people that doesn't believe in anything, yeah, you're not going to have much at all to believe in. I'm being trolled by 4chan. I'm sure they troll us all the time. They haven't been successful. If they do, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It would be the first time I've been able to beat them at their own game. I could pop up on other servers. I have the ability to broadcast through multiple venues. Don't get intimidated by my astro-projecting thought process. You're a smart ass. You're not a troll, you're a smart ass? Really? You emailed Trump if you're going to let illegals into the city or waste money on an effing wall. Well, it's the fence idea that I have that's the coolest. Hey, Frog Dog, what you need to do is document your cat's size. It's truly an unusual cat size. I've never seen a cat that big. Really. Make him a historic event, Document him.
Oh.
He's really, look at how big his cat is. It's like takes his entire lap up. It's like almost like a small tiger. It's almost like that Siberian tiger that attacked Siegfried and Roy. Hi, how you doing?
Good. Did you want me to come in early so you can have your dinner?
Oh, you can come in at 8.
Okay.
Just turn the burner off and enjoy 8:15 even. Yeah, take a break. You look like you need it. You had a big day. Well, it's just one of those.
23 pounds, guys.
How many? 23?
23 pounds.
23 pounds, man. 23 pounds. Wow. That's big. That's double the size of my cat. Amazing, man. Well, he's reveling in world-class stardom right now. It's seen around the world. This cat is now showing his amazingness. A cat so big that we can't even compare him to other cats. I very rarely ever saw anything that big. And they've got feral kitties that are smaller than him. All right, we're out of there. Okay. Cool cat frog, yeah. I guess we'll look through a few things. Cardinals offer prayer. I'm not sure if they're praying for their Vatican to look less like a snake or... Oh, that's right. They're praying about the Notre Dame Cathedral and the Doma being destroyed. Yes. And then Omar is saying it has to stop. Omar says Trump encourages violence and hate. And now she's in charge of the country in her mind. She's calling the shots. She says you can't speak out against Muslims. Wow. So you Trump supporters are really pushing the envelope of violence and hatred, and you're doing exactly what the Illuminati wants you to do. To continue this angered hatred between Christians, Jews, and Muslims. That's exactly what you're all about. That's a Zionist method. That's what they do. Divide and conquer.
If I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
Yeah, I know. There's Joe Biden's a Zionist. And they want us to totally support the global plan of a new world order. That's their big goal, Zionists. Zionists work collaterally with, like Zionists would be AIPAC, which Omar is saying things about recently. I actually think Omar is in the right department talking about AIPAC. I'm surprised that she hasn't brought up AIPAC more often, whereas Beto O'Rourke is running his mouth off about Israel. Israel's an ally of our country. AIPAC happens to be a lobbyist arm of Israel and America, American-Israeli Political Affairs Committee. But, their power shouldn't reach across all levels and dictate foreign policy like they are. And that's what a New World Order is trying to do. And AIPAC is working with the Russian oligarchs who are also Zionists, who happen to go to the Donald Trump synagogue in Chabad Leibovich. Many of the Russian oligarchs have families in New York, and New York and AIPAC are like hand in hand. Then you've got the Vatican and the Catholic Church, and its extent controls the Rothschild money, the Rothschilds control the Vatican's money. That's how that connection went down. The Vatican banks with the Rothschilds. And the Rothschilds are connected to the Masons. And these people here, and they're also Zionists, they're these people. So the Rothschilds have one primary goal, and that's to dictate the future of mankind, which started with Sir Francis Drake, really. Actually, it started with a group called the Knights Templar. Anders Breivik, the guy who killed those people in Oslo, 77 people who got a cush sentence in Norway, he was part of the new Knights Templar. And I believe he was called into task to kill those kids, because one of those kids was the nephew of King Harald of Norway. And right after they did that, King Harald of Norway opened up the North Sea to oil mining. Prior to that, he never did that. And he made a few payments to the IMF after that. It's almost like they use terrorists to cause problems for countries around the world to enforce their rule of the Masonic order and their ultimate goal of domination. So that's how it all works. This is the backbone of the New World Order, if you will. Now, I never really even talked about the New World Order until 2008 when people started talking about it in our show. We were started the campaign in 2008 to try to stop the New World Order from installing Barack Obama, a CIA operative, Muslim, homosexual, as our president. Unfortunately, we couldn't stop it. I tried. I did get out there and I ran the incredible campaign and got totally censored back in 2008. Here I was 10 years ago.
Hi, good morning. As you can see, I'm still wearing the shirt I wore last night and yesterday at Blog TV. It's exhilarating to do Blog TV. We've been having an incredible time. This is in fact day 54. I thought yesterday was day 54, but we did a recount, And we determined that today is day 54 as we approach the election. And as your potential write-in candidate, David John Sponheim, I'm here to show you my hybrid electric vehicle. It's not a plug-in hybrid. That's something I want to build at the U.S. Auto Corporation that I want you, the people, to own. Check out this vehicle. Isn't that a beautiful car? Everywhere we go, we get looks. One of the reasons people look at us is we get about 60 miles per gallon, which is really nice. We've been across the country a few times campaigning, and this vehicle is truly a dream to drive.
Oh, I should have the sound of Gregorian chants as I lift the car up into the heavens, you know? That would be nice. If only. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How about Tibetan monks? Will that do? That doesn't quite do it. Yeah, electric car, but hybrids really are the future too. You know, we're going to be seeing hydrogen cars and battery hybrid with hydrogen. The future is fuel cell technology, and we'll have a system that'll run hydrogen engine like our gas engine. And when the liquid hydrogen is easy to store, it could be a backup while we're storing battery hydrogen, essentially electric fuel cell batteries that use hydrogen as part of the mix. I believe it'll be a fuel cell technology that will eventually power up all our cars. No one wants to run out of battery power. And I'm amazed Tesla's cell, even though they have a 200-mile range, people still feel like they got to charge up for 3 hours. You know, it's ridiculous. 24 hours if they arrive at somebody with nobody but a plug, a small 20-amp plug. So, yeah, a lot of people don't like that factor. That's why the Nissan Leaf has kind of been dumped in the market. You could probably buy a Nissan Leaf right now on eBay or Craigslist or Auto Trader. Let's go to Auto Trader and just see what a Nissan Leaf costs. Current in any area of the U.S. Let me get the lowest cost here. See what I can find. Yeah, here's a 2011 Nissan Leaf for $6,988. So if you really are looking for a commuter car, you could probably buy one of these. Seriously. Just say you live 20 miles away from your job. You can get around. These have like a 60-mile capacity. But for $6,988, that's a pretty good electric car, and you won't have to go to the gas station at all. So there is a market for this stuff. And it's a good market, but let's face it, people don't like to run out of energy. That's the big problem. Hey, they've got the fuel removal process is going forward at Fukushima. Workers begin removing nuclear fuel at the Fukushima melted reactor. This is good news. Operation part of decades-long process to decommission tsunami-wrecked facility. This is good news. Tokyo Electric Power Company worker explains the operation at Unit 3 of Fukushima nuclear plant in Okuma, Japan. The operator of the tsunami-wrecked Fukushima nuclear plant began removing fuel Monday from a cooling pool at one of the 3 reactors that melted down in 2011, a milestone in what will be decades-long process to decommission the facility. That's great. Start removing the first of 566 used and unused fuel units. Great. I heard that a lot of that just melted right into the ground, so I don't know how they're going to remove that. They're trying to pull the rods out. Yeah, the Nissan Leaf. You didn't hear? Thanks, Badger Waxer. I'll check that out later, too. Yeah. Always good to have Fukushima information. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Bill Weld is announcing he's going to run against Trump for the GOP nomination. Wow, I didn't know that. Here's Jack Tapper talking about it.
Governor of Massachusetts, Bill Weld, is here with me live in studio, and Mr. Weld has something to announce. Governor?
Jake, I'm announcing that I'm running for President of the United States as a Republican against President Trump in 2020.
So you're hoping to take him on in the primaries?
In the primaries. I really think if we have 6 more years of the same stuff we've had out of the White House the last 2 years, that would be a political tragedy, and I would fear for the Republic. So I would be ashamed of myself if I didn't raise my hand and run.
So President Trump's reelection campaign just announced that they've raised $30 million in the first quarter. The Republican Party has been reshaped to meet President Trump's desires. He has the support within the party at nearly 90%.
In other words, 90% of the Republican Party are brain dead. And here's a guy, a good solid conservative, who's pitching a better way out for the Republicans, and they're just like, no, we better go with Trump because he's the guy who tweets a lot. Isn't that amazing? The whole world is just completely mindless now that Trump is leading the parade. We've lost critical thinking abilities. We've lost the ability to decide what's right and wrong. All we are listening to a man who loves to lie, who gets off on it, like Scaramucci. Scaramucci said that Trump enjoys it. It's fun for him. Well, that's enough to Scaramucci me, too. And we talked about this earlier. George Conway, Kellyanne Conway's husband, has a big statement to make. He investigated this whole recent reveal, the Mueller report. There's this little thing right here, which is a parentheses implying that something came before what Barr wrote. The investigation did not establish that members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated with the Russian government in its election interference activities. He believes that little thing right there starts with an although. So he believes that when we see the report on Thursday, we'll know that although, comma, the investigation did not establish members of the Trump campaign conspired or coordinated. It goes on to talk about, I'm sure, all the bad things that Trump did. Plus, I made a note that this is not referring to Donald Trump. It refers to the Trump campaign conspiring with Russia. The jury's still out on Trump conspiring with Russia directly. Of course, he would be conspiring on his phone because he's got his own cell phone and he can access Vladimir Putin any time of the day. Hello, Vladdy, hello. Oh, don't show the sex tape. No. Whatever you want to do. You want me to position troops in Venezuela so that you could annihilate them? Oh, no, don't make me do that. I'll lose the election in 2020. I mean, you can only imagine what he's expecting to talk to Vladimir Putin about, because we don't have any notes at all of Donald Trump over the past 6.5 hour period that he's met with Vladimir Putin. Nothing. And he did meet with Russian top diplomats and the TASS news agency the day after he fired James Comey. How can anyone ignore the collusion that's going on here? It's ridiculous. So I'm going to go on record saying there's total collusion. I'm convinced of it. Thank you. Yeah, and AIPAC has Biden in their pocket too.
If I were a Jew, I'd be a Zionist. I am a Zionist. You don't have to be a Jew to be a Zionist.
Yeah. So they got to. The thing about AIPAC is they cover both sides of the political spectrum. They've got it all covered. There's no way they're going to possibly lose an election unless, of course, a third party emerges in America and kicks them on their ass. I won't take any money from AIPAC, whereas Trump takes nothing but money from AIPAC and the Jewish lobby. Yeah, and then Trump said Mexico's going to pay for the wall because he stole my idea. The 1,000-mile wall or fence was my idea. The fence, I talked about a fence. I didn't mention the word wall. He changed it to wall. And then somebody said, well, who's going to pay for it? And he said, we'll have Mexico pay for it. Yeah, he had no idea who was going to pay for it. He hadn't thought through that little part of the sequence. That's a little too much for him. So in dealing with conspiracy shows, I want you to know that the people who got John F. Kennedy killed are still in power in America. And until and unless those people are imprisoned, America won't ever be free. And that's why the two-party system needs to fall. We need to build this third party to take them down. Otherwise, we're never going to get any kind of redress to the wrongs that are being committed under this plan, the current plan, the one that's screwing our country up. It used to be we had a bigger enemy with communism. Believe me, communists can get bought too. Socialists can get bought, like Bernie Sanders. They're easy to buy. Okay. Thanks. Cliff to Cliff made a comment. That's too bad. So these people are buyable, and both parties are completely in the back pocket of these elitists, both the Russian oligarchs and the AIPAC organization. Hillary and all of the rank and file Democrats believe that Omar is really violating AIPAC, but they don't want to go out and say it, so they're kind of giving her a little lightweight pass. But Omar has been very vocal against AIPAC, but she didn't name it out enough.
I stood with your prime minister at the White House
because they recognized that some people did something and that all of us were starting to lose access to our civil liberties.
And a special thanks to Representative Omar of Minnesota. Oh, I forgot. She doesn't like Israel, I forgot.
We finally have a leader, a world leader in the White House who publicly says Islam hates us, who fuels hate against Muslims, who think it is okay to speak about a faith and a whole community in a way that is dehumanizing, vilifying, and doesn't understand, or at least makes us want to think that he doesn't understand the consequences that his words might have. Talk about the political influence in this country that says it is okay for people to push for allegiance to a foreign country. I want to ask, why is it okay for me to talk about the influence of the NRA or fossil fuel industries or big pharma and not talk about a powerful lobbying group that is influencing policy?
Now she's referring to AIPAC, basically. And I think Omar's made a good point. I don't dislike Omar because she's from Somalia. I don't hate her because she's Muslim. I don't hate her. I don't hate her, period. I don't even think she really understands how she frames words and how it affects her. I think she's still new to this country, in my mind. And I'm still wondering why Trump isn't talking about how she may have married her brother in order to become a U.S. citizen. I would be working on that if I were him. I'm amazed Trump hasn't even bothered to roll that stone over, but I don't hate her. I don't think anyone should marry their brother in order to become a U.S. citizen. That's crazy. If it's true, she needs to be removed as a citizen. She should be given her green card back and possibly taken out of the legislative branch for lying to the American people to claim she's, but if she's not married to her brother, then I can understand her having a legitimate reason to stay and continue working for the people of her hometown or state. Yeah, but I don't hate her for being radical. No. I don't hate her, period. In fact, I just find that we need to let people talk, discuss this AIPAC issue, and if the Democrats are afraid to talk about it, they're hemming and hawing around it, then they're not willing to face the reality that Zionism is a problem, that they've got a plan that could ultimately hurt a lot of people. It's not something that we should think lightly of, considering they may be behind a lot of the fake false flag events that have been happening. I'm certainly concerned about that. That's why I have the Media Verification Alliance, which we'll be talking about tomorrow night. I'm working on my first release, my second release on 153news.net. So I'm developing that on the side. We're going to make some short, sweet ones, but I'm working on a big one regarding Russian collusion, too. And I'll be getting to that as well. Exactly. I just need airtime. I'm a shoo-in. But you see, that's what they're really afraid of in America. Pinguilaguglu. Yeah, we're not getting any coverage by the mainstream media. We've been systematically censored. Every time the story breaks that a third party is trying to start up, it gets shunned and pushed down. Program directors refuse to take my calls. We've been doing this for 10 years, and every time I try to reach out to the main networks, they shut me down. Yeah, I agree. Life is too short to be pissed off all the time. Good point. But if they've got a plan, and the plan is to depopulate the world, they would have written it, and they did. They wrote it in the Georgia Guidestones, which came out under Ronald Reagan's administration. They've been buying politicians for years. Even Ronald Reagan was purchased. He was an actor.
Well, I just want to say that I don't really know what Iran-Contra is all about, but Don Regan handles all those things.
He didn't even know what Iran-Contra was. Ronald Reagan was completely oblivious to everything. And when he finally woke up to the powers of the New World Order, they tried to kill him. John Hinckley Jr. put a bullet in his chest, nearly killed him. If John Hinckley had moved a little bit to the left with that gun, it would have killed our president. He went on to finish his second term. Do you know that John Hinckley Jr. spent the night before he attempted to kill our president? He spent the night before at George H.W. Bush's house at a party. And that story was not even brought up in court. They weren't allowed. That evidence was purged in the trial. And you know that John Hinckley Jr., the man who put a bullet next to our president's heart and nearly killed him? And if you're a fan of Ronald Reagan, you would have done something about this. Obviously, Trump isn't. John Hinckley Jr. is walking free today. He can go anywhere he wants in Maryland now. He lives with his mother in a retirement facility. He can go anywhere he wants because he knew very powerful people in the New World Order. 1,000 points of light. A new world order. So apparently knowing people like that gets you places. So what's their game? How do they manipulate the American people? How is conspiracy theory even evolving right now in lieu of what they're doing? Well, they've got a plan, all right. They do.
We say no. I support the nation.
So let's take a look here. Yeah, that was the wrong. I've got a little thing here with it in it. Just brought it into our show. The wax dummy one. Yeah, so let's take a look here at get the wax dummy one here. This is part of what I'm working on. How to shape public opinion. Fear. Create fear like events that are happening where people are devastated, like Pearl Harbor or the World Trade Center attack. Intimidate with riot control and the presence of police everywhere in every city block, pulling us over 5 miles an hour over the speed limit, we get pulled over. Distract. TV sets in front of our face all the time, video games, constantly distracted, and divide. And part of divide is the illusion of choice, that you have a choice between left versus right. And that's where they're feeding us all this BS that they're expecting us to believe. Every single day we're mass mediaized, forced to believe in things that are not necessarily true. So they've got us figured out. We are the sheep, the cattle that they make fun of. We're the useless eaters. And they think they can do this extremely devious technique of controlling us by using this technique. Apparently it's working. But we're also spreading information on the internet so fast that it's almost a crisis for these people, because awareness is growing rapidly with the advent of the internet. More and more people are hearing stories about false flags that are going on, fakery. More and more people are believing that chemicals are being dumped on our heads, which they are. That's not some, fictitious belief. It's not condensed air, it's actually chemicals. We're being sprayed like insects. So let's see what you don't like, Omar. America rescued her family and she hates America. Some people did something that infuriated me and the majority of Americans. No, I don't like Omar either. But I don't hate her. I think many of you people don't realize that hate is not a very productive thought process. It's not going to lead us anywhere. Hate will alienate you and everyone around you. I said this the other night, that it's easy to hate, it's hard to love. And I mean that. It really takes a lot more effort to love. If you could just describe Omar as a victim, you put it in perspective, and she doesn't want to be framed as all the other Muslims who we believe are somehow illegally entering the country. You can say anything you want here. I just think that we're not trying to lump all Muslims into the category of the 17 or 18 people that the 9/11 Commission report claimed caused 9/11. I'm more concerned about Sharia law being enforced in Michigan at forcing men to, or actually allowing men to kill their wives if they look at another man. And that's murder one in America. So I don't think we should allow Sharia law to be enforced in America. We should have overriding laws, and I think Trump is a little late on that one. He's also unable to deal with the immense refugee crisis at the border without following up on the plan that I had put in place for the concept of building the container wall, and I presented this within a few years, actually recently. I talked about building a container wall to protect us against the border, and Trump didn't move on it. We've got more than enough containers to build this for $1 billion total, 1,000 miles. I just don't understand why he wouldn't have moved on it quickly, and he's just sitting on his hands mostly. Trump is proving to be futile in his efforts. Even stealing my ideas got him elected, but it won't build the wall that we need much faster than we're getting with him. His playing games with money and asking for $5.7 billion and then upping it to $7.8 billion, and playing games with Pelosi and threatening her and trying to close the border down. All this is just a tremendous case of incompetence at the highest level. And he's wasting our time while we're going to be facing a serious disaster at the border as it goes on. It's not going to get any better. Okay, we have a visitation from Amber. Wow, okay. Amber, come on in. Wow, look at you. She's coming in. Look at this. Wow, our kitty cat. You know, he showed me his cat, 13 years old, who's really, really heavy. And Amber's only 11 pounds, so she's half the weight. Isn't she precious? She likes to see, yeah, she likes being in your arms.
Not really, she's trying to jump
Well,
off.
that's okay. Sarah's going to give me a little break and talk to you guys, so. Isn't she a beautiful cat? You know, her fur is so soft. It's like finer than mink. I mean, I've never felt a cat this soft before. She's got
like a velour.
Yeah, like a soft velour. Thank you for showing Kitty. Anyway, the container fence is still a solid idea that could be built for $1 billion. We're on track with the $500 a month plan, the basic income plan for Americans. And if Yang gets the nomination for the Democratic Party, I will up it to $1,010 a month, as I promised. I'll match and beat anybody who's trying to steal my idea of basic income. I'm the first guy that talked about it in our book, 2012, Hybrid Capitalism. We talked about the baseline plus, giving people a basic amount of income. And we finally put a number on it. We started at 400, went to 500. And I'm more than willing to up it to 1,010 to beat Yang at his game of BSing people. I don't think I want to fund 1,010, but I will. We'll have to cut the military budget tremendously to make that happen. But for now, the $500 a month plan stands unless Yang wins the nomination. Then it's up to $1,010 a month. Yeah, big time. We will literally borrow money to fund the American growth of the retail sector and give people the money they need to survive in an automated world that's moving toward automation. All right, I think I covered all the territory. I'm going to move off of that and give you guys Sarah. Thank you. And the kitty cat.
You can push me forward.
I will, yes.
Oh goodness, I guess I'll do it. Actually, thank you so much, David.
You're welcome.
David is a wonderful.
I am happy to assist, Sarah.
Good. All right. Cool.
You don't like my tie?
What? I like David's tie.
That's a nice tie. Yeah.
David has. I like everything about you, David.
Oh, thank you. I like everything about you. It's a Revellino.
Oh no.
One of the finest Italian ties in the world.
David's leaving the room. Amber wants to follow. Goodbye. Thanks for taking a nap with me, Amber. So I learned the secret of napping. You take some caffeine. I don't drink coffee, so I had a piece of chocolate. Or yesterday I did this with a hot thing of hot cocoa. And then you eat the chocolate or drink your coffee, whichever you prefer. And then you take a 25-minute nap and you set your timer for 25 minutes for napping. And you wake up and you feel so refreshed and everything. It's really good because then that's when the caffeine or the cocoa or this starts to kick in, is right at that time. You need to confirm that. You did not realize that was obviously a Photoshop image. I love fries. I love fries. I have never been bald, except when I was a baby. Would you like to see a baby picture? I can't make that happen now, but maybe someday I can. Hello, Flight 19. I'm glad that you have a woman coming over tonight, God's gift to women. I'm sure it will be great for her. Gunther, you enjoy your music break. Have fun with that. All right. Hello, Mitch. Are you still there, Mitch? I haven't seen you in a long time. Good to know. I was an okay baby. I was wondering what that was, Frog Dog. Were you getting some planting ready, or there's something behind your computer keyboard? I don't know. Never mind. I don't know what it is. Maybe it doesn't matter. Like a bowl, or I don't know. It's on the ground. Maybe it's on the ground. You're down there and you're petting your cat down there. Oh, it's a cat bed. Okay, that makes total sense now. I get it now. I guess my mind was on planting because it's that spring is here, springtime of year. And I did some, well, kind of planting today. I did some work in the garden today. I dug some holes so that anybody can dig a hole. Take somebody else, fill it in. I dug some holes so that I can plant tomorrow. What is that? Oh, I have to unmute you to feed. Okay. That's interesting. All right. Oh, yes. It's still out till 11 and oh, it's a little after 10 now. Well, light. Wow. It's yeah, you're right. Here it's a little after 8ish. Still a little bright. Can't grow inside the tent. Okay. On the Gazelle. Oh, that's your grow tent. I see, Frog Dog. All right, no, that's an exercise machine. I got it. I have a thing where I grew some snap peas. I still need to get some bamboo. Maybe I can ask David to go get that. And some twine. And then I have to string up my snap peas. I don't know. I don't know myself well enough. Liar is L-I-A-R. Oh, and yes, the LED grow lights are amazing. The hard part for me is making sure everything stays watered. And I have, yeah, I have these heating mats, which are really nice. That's good. I don't know. I don't look at myself in that way, so maybe that's my thing. Okay, I'm gonna go off camera for a minute. But I left my noise on so you could hear me sneeze. Sorry.
Bless you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to check the other thing over here, too.
Just take me a second. Do, 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 do. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'll be back. I'll be back.
I know that's not true. God's gift to women. I love David, and he was just telling me that it's he's so comfortable around me. great. Wow, this is really good. Images of the Notre Dame Castle.
You
or
know what
cathedral.
I attribute that savings from last month? Electric,
Mhm.
that refrigerator light.
Oh yeah.
It's an LED 40
Well, that
watt.
and the heater.
And the heater, but it's an LED 40 watt. I wouldn't doubt it was costing me $40 a month for the refrigerator opening and closing.
Maybe 20.
It's 80 watts versus 6 for the LED light. Every time you open and close the refrigerator.
Uh-huh. Hopefully these won't burn because they're made out of concrete. Hopefully they're made out of concrete. This is all pictures from the Notre Dame. They had a 17th century organ that was functional. Wow. He raised 30 million and Trump wants $1 billion to run or for his campaign. Yeah, you guys can donate to David. America's Third Party at gmail.com. That's his PayPal. Microplastic has been found in the air in France's Pyrenees Mountains. Wow. Oh, I just followed a bunch of news and now I'm like, oh no, now I'm looking at my Twitter and it's all news. And I don't want it. Maybe I will stop those or put those in to put them into a thing. I think I will just kind of unfollow all the news reporters, but I wanted to follow them because of the campaign stuff. I do not want to do it.
131263111084.
Sorry, I'm not accepting any calls. I don't do that. I just pick up the phone to actually turn off the ringer. Okay, I want to do third party. How about politics? How about 2020 election? I think I'll just leave it. There we go. I've got who to follow, all the reporters that are following the third party. Have you guys heard of the book called Shattered? Yes, I am unaware of my audience. I'm not really following my audience. Well, you have to keep me entertained. You think I'm here to keep you entertained, but really... You're here to keep me entertained. Top Hollywood contributors to Kamala Harris's campaign. Steven Spielberg is #1, then Kate Capshaw. Yes. Conservative for Life says our country is going into massive debt when both the Republicans and Democrats are in power. Voting in the same power isn't going to fix anything. Our only hope is to vote outside the two parties. Okay. There is a Republican person running against Trump. His name is Bill Weld.
Yeah, I saw that. He's a governor.
Governor, yep.
Yeah, he's an interesting conservative. I kind of like.
He was a libertarian.
Cool. Yeah, I like his approach. I just think that the Republicans are thinking like a herd right now, and they just want to retain power, and they don't really care about the country. They just want to make more money, frankly. And if he could redefine the Republicans into something else, that'd be great. But siding with Trump all the time is really kind of pathetic, considering Trump's been lying incessantly. It doesn't help our country to have people siding with a liar. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Let me just do this here. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. We're just coming back online here. I will be finishing up the show till 10. There is more food if you want it on the stove, if you're still hungry.
Okay.
Feel free to have whatever you want. It was quite a bit, so.
Yeah.
I think I made an extra potato I didn't even need, but anyway.
Okay.
Enjoy. Thank you so much. Get some rest. Here's your hair tie here.
Thanks.
All right. Sarah is very much of a big help for me. I'll tell you. I need the extra time to get away and focus on calls coming in. Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead. No, that's another block. Yeah. Great phone that we got too. These things really work. You know, it was very opportunistic for us to get that phone when we did.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I was thinking that it's like we needed a new phone system because the old batteries, we got tired of replacing them in the old phones. The phones are cheaper than the batteries. The batteries are the way they make their money. The NiCad batteries are designed to fail on all those phones. We featured this avocado commercial from 3 years ago, Super Bowl, that referenced secret societies, and ever since then it kicked off a kind of a conspiracy theory that avocados are related to eating children. Yeah, this is an actual it's kind of like an Illuminati a takeoff. They have people gathering, kind of like the Illuminati gathering location that is typically, you know, people sitting around talking about apocalyptic things, very conspiracy oriented. And 3 years ago it appeared in the Super Bowl, and at the very end these guys break out into a guacamole party and they start using what they call subliminal messages at the end, and you can see it right here. All of a sudden you see all this weird stuff, and then they're feverishly eating guacamole, and then it ends with the avocado closer. And anyway, they think that this is some sort of a lead into an allusion to eating children. I don't know how that connection was made, but it's this whole theory that children who are abducted are being eaten, which is a bizarre thought, but it's certainly a conspiracy theory, and it's gaining a lot of ground online because people are so suppressed by the Pizzagate story and how they're not allowed to talk about child abductions going on in DC. So why would our government silence that unless it really was happening? Our government was covering for a bunch of pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein. And sure enough, our government is. And that's just the avocado thing. I didn't really want to save it for... I'll put it in miscellaneous. Yeah. Okay, here's an incredible helicopter crash. 5 minutes of them we're going to be featuring in our show tonight. Okay, that's kind of bizarre. Yeah, we'll look at that tonight in our show. Coming up on the evening part of our show. Yeah, I can't really discuss it beyond there. What I'm doing right now is trying to get rid of links. This QAnon guy, I don't know. Jeez. I'll look at him under police state because that's pretty much what they represent. And this is the story I was telling you about. Muslims laugh as blaze destroys Notre Dame Cathedral during the Holy Week. Right. Well, the theory is that the avocados are now words they're using to relate to children and human trafficking and the eating of children. And I don't want to talk about that subject. Who does? Yeah, Bill Weld ran for the VP for the Libertarian Party. Yeah, he definitely connects with a small group of people. I'm not sure how big that group is, but sure. Yes, an important building called the Notre Dame Cathedral. And I believe we've got a map of it. Let's go to Notre Dame Cathedral and do a little search. I think you can go in the cathedral. On the nice thing is we have everything videotaped. We've got tremendous amount of the Notre Dame, yes. We've got a huge three-dimensional library of this area. There it is. This is the original before it was burned. And if we want to go into it, let's take a walk inside. Whoa, this is so cool. See, you won't really need to go to the cathedral in the future, because what you can do is just take a tour inside right now. You know, I want to get into the cathedral. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. I love this Google Earth thing, you know? Oh, and this is an update. Notre Dame fire. Right. Paris, France. Updated. Yes, let's go to the fire itself. Whoa. Now, see, why do we need to go there, you know? Look at how beautiful this is. My goodness. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Wow. Dr. Oz says avocados can be bad for the stomach bacteria. Oh yeah, I bet. Dr. Oz must know exactly what is he, like the Wizard of Oz? He knows everything. Muslims trying to rape a 5-year-old. And I really don't want to go there. Yeah. That's a little too weird, Ann. Thanks. Dave, you know damn well the Muslims burned it down. Well, we are not sure yet. The evidence is still ongoing. We've consulted some of the experts, but as yet, our team of analysis has not come up with any specifics. If an accelerant was used at the Notre Dame church, it was probably simply something they used because it was necessary in the renovation process. Yes. To say that there is indeed what is going on is a leap of faith. Let's wait till the experts weigh in on this. What do you say? Ha 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 ha. Oh, I'm sorry, my alter ego, Jacob Rothschild, is coming out. Ha 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 ha. Yes. I couldn't restrain it. Now, David, you know that you shouldn't be saying these things. Don't try to impersonate a Rothschild. You'll never get away with it, I tell you. My falsies are falling out. Yeah, he's the guy behind the scrim of all the money in the world. Him and a few others. Frog Dog's trying to do his impersonation of Jacob Rothschild. You want to do yours? See if we can get into the show here. Yes. The scrim of reality. We'll pass on Frog Dog on that one. Okay, so here we are in the theater of the center of the mezzanine, crossing over into the, oh, look at this fantastic, and the image of the Virgin Mary. I wonder if that's okay, you know? This is not a wig. This is my real hair. You surely can see me pulling on the follicles. I'm working on my robot. Well, are you done with this, or do you want to spend some more time in the mezzanine? Would you like to go to the rectory and check the rectory out? See, we don't really need it anymore. We don't even need the actual building. I mean, I certainly respect it, but we've got these incredible three-dimensional pictures. I mean, mankind has already duplicated everything, and everything could live in a virtual world. There's really no need for any of these structures on the Earth. Well, many people suffer from broken hips, but Jacob would easily get a hip replacement in a second. Report: Kim Jong-un may meet Russia's Putin as soon as next week. I know. He wants the bottles of vodka. 900,000 bottles of vodka on the wall. 900,000 of bottles. 900. Yeah, he wanted those vodka bottles, and they were. Russia lured him into a meeting in Hanoi with Trump because Russia controls Trump. Everything he does, they control. And now, the aftermath of this is Kim Jong-un looks and feels like he's been played, and he doesn't want to be played. Would you like to be played? Jesus had older brothers, so how was Mary a virgin, Dave? Ours is not to wonder why, ours is but to believe in things mindlessly. I didn't realize, are you allowed to think in the Catholic Church? Or in Christian faith? I mean, I think thinking might be a little too much. Well, what about the dinosaurs, you know? You read those monsters that were referenced in the Bible, in the Old Testament, were simply dinosaurs. God created the world in 5 days, 5 trillion years. It's a metaphor. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you sheep. Bah. Bah. It's not the religious vote I'm concerned about. It's not, I don't even care about your vote, sir. Yes. I could care less if you even come in the room. When you have trillions of dollars, you don't care. When you have a new face, you don't care. Oh, sorry, my falsies fell out. Now you're starting to believe I am Jacob Rothschild. I know, I've got a lot of people believing that. Anything's possible. We do look almost identical, you know, so I'm not trying to impress everyone with the truth, but, you know, it's pretty obvious. I'm his body double. Oh, I'm back. Hello. So nice of you to come into the show, everyone. This David Spradheim is quite a kick. Ha 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 ha. Well, this is the man that has trillions of dollars. Trillions. I'm not talking 100 trillion. I'm talking 200 trillion. He makes Donald Trump look like a shoe shine salesman or whatever they are. What is a shoe shine person anyway? Did Julian Assange get kicked out from the embassy because of a leaked photo? Do you have smeared feces on the wall? Are you suffering from advanced halitosis with bad breath beyond belief? Well, maybe you're Julian Assange. Yeah. Check it out. A leaked photo. May have been. Now, this is the CIA byline they're trying to pitch here. An embarrassing photo of the Ecuadorian president lounging on a bed, dining on a lobster. And that went viral. Uh-oh. I don't want to go there. It's dangerous. I may be hitting the wrong link. Ooh. There he is. It's part of a trove of damaging documents and photos that the Ecuadorian president accused WikiLeaks of leaking. Oh, see, this looks a little too pat. No one cares if they're going to be eating in front of a large and taking a picture. This is BS. Julian Assange is a fictitious character now. I think he's gone. I don't believe he's made an appearance. We saw his video the other night. It didn't look like a real video. It looked fake as hell. Let's take a look.
Just so silly, okay? I know. But did you see this? Did you see this? You've got a 3 right here. Okay, press play.
Pictures are of Assange's arrest just a couple of hours ago. Julian Assange, now with a beard, carried out of the exhibit.
And you've got the other 3 for 33. Oh, fuck.
Oh, that too. Look at that.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Well, you just said some bad words there, buddy. And geez, I don't know. That's okay. But yeah, he made a good point. In this video, you see 3-3. See the 3 right there on the wall? And then the other 3 as he's walking in? This is the number that the Illuminati uses. to declare their presence. 33. And they're faking, and they pasted his face onto this guy's body. This is entirely a hoax perpetrated at the highest levels of the CIA art department. I mean, this is up there with Abbottabad, really. If you guys believe Abbottabad was the end of Osama bin Laden, I've got a few photographs to show you. Osama bin Laden did not die in Abbottabad. The fake family was never interviewed by anyone internationally. Not one single person was interviewed at that location. There were 9 people, 3 wives and 6 kids, and not one person was ever interviewed after that event was faked. Anyway, that's pretty interesting. If you want confirmation of this information, let me share this 153 link with you right now. And Assange fakery, I'll call it. And I'm going to add this to our list of links. Assange trying to ride a skateboard. Okay, what do you got? Oh, this is some doctored evidence of him in the Ecuadorian embassy. Okay, this should be funny. We'll take a look at this now. Oh yeah, like this looks like him. I think they're playing around with really advanced three-dimensional CGI equipment. For all we know, this is an animation from some three-dimensional mock-up. Seriously. And I don't see the feces on the wall. If this was taken recently, it certainly doesn't look like feces on the wall. Skateboarding in the Ecuadorian embassy. Well, they had to come up with a good reason, right? I'd rather spend more time looking at the amazing and wonderful Cathedral Notre Dame de Paris. Where would you like to go? Color blocked. Wow. Is this phenomenal? I mean, and I didn't really want to go there to France just to see it. So I thought, well, can't I go somewhere else, you know? Certainly there's another place I can go to. Oh, like the viewing room from the mezzanine. Or over here. Bingo. Isn't it cool to navigate maps? I love this technique. Yeah, you can go to all the 5 or 15 points of light here in the mezzanine. Wow. Look at that. Okay, I'm done with that. We know it's online. It's 3D. It's virtual. Yes, the first gay presidential nominee, and he believes he's going to be able to beat Donald Trump, and that's kind of kinky. Is he into like bondage or something? I mean, but no, beat, but as in win in the election. Yeah, Buttigieg. We're going to call him butt plug for lack of better words. Okay, so we got butt plug running in the Republican Party, and we've got another guy. Yeah, but who cares? Does it really matter? Shepard Smith. Here's live today. This is the actual footage of the fire going on as we are looking at it here. Shepard Smith abruptly cut off an interview with a French commentator floating conspiracy theories that somebody started this, that there's some evil plot, and now people are telling me Muslims started this. It's amazing. I just don't believe it. I think it was just a renovation thing gone bad, you know. Bad discipline among the workers, possibly somebody was smoking a cigarette near some fuel. I mean, you'd be surprised what a can of lacquer and a cigarette will do. Yeah, don't try it. Don't try that out in your own personal life. It would be very devastating. Yeah, paint is very flammable. Okay. We've got a really interesting way in which they can make faces like Julian Assange. This is a program that Misanthropy gave me, in which it makes faces by the click of a refresh. You hit refresh and it's a computer-generated face. Nobody in the world looks exactly like this. but hitting refresh button gets you new faces. And it's so easy for computers to create this level of complex photography. Seriously, so faking Julian Assange riding a skateboard is not that big of a deal. Would anyone like this link? Because it's a pretty cool link, I think. I think I look a little bit more effeminate with this face. Because I'm not effeminate. Oh, sorry. Hey, that's you. Yeah, if you don't care, I won't give it to you. It's just one of those CGI links. It refreshes every time. Such a letdown, really. What happened? Whoever started by accident. Oh, yeah. Well, you could just keep clicking refresh on that thing. It would come up with new faces. I would like to go out for some bridge with some of the gals. Well, I thought maybe we could have a cookout near my old town of Alabama. My fellow Americans, I know I'm not Ronald Reagan, but I'm the next best thing to being there. Oh, sorry. David, are you not the head of the Illuminati? I am not the head of the Illuminati, no. Nor am I the body. Hardly. I'm just the guy who's going to become president of the United States in the next couple of years. I can't control my destiny. I keep doing what I do, and you can keep doing what you're doing because it's working. And I want to thank everybody here for participating in what? Oh, sorry. Yeah. I don't belong to the Illuminati, no. Dave, this program is freaking me out. It should. The whole purpose of this show is to freak you out. Because remember, the people who got him killed are still in power in America. And until and unless those people are imprisoned, America won't ever be free. Remember those words. I mean, take that from the show and realize these people are up to no good. Oh, the face thing? Yeah, it was freaking me out too. Yeah, I had to stop. In fact, I need some music to mellow out as we head toward the top of the hour and get ready for our extra hour. I can't keep doing this without some free love.
Did you ever wonder, like, what is going on?
For free love.
Okay. Wouldn't it be great to get food to people in need? What a concept, you know? I mean, why can't we deliver food everywhere in the world in packages that are biodegradable? I mean, why can't we produce water and food for people in times of need? What's wrong with the human race that we can't distribute food? I mean, are we like ants? Ants do a better job of moving food around among its masses of its own population. We're, as a species, a pathetic joke that we can't distribute food evenly among all the people, or at least get everybody something to eat. So I say we are screwing up, and we better be better at being human. Okay? All right. Thank you. Act tough, talk tough, walk tough. So getting people support like that is really kind of a key thing, especially Americans, because everybody needs something. And if you're looking, waiting for your food to come down on you, gosh darn it, don't get hit by it because it could slap you in the face and wake you up. Boy, you guys are very talkative over there. I'm glad I've got Periscope. Are you still here, Mitt? No, Mitt's gone. Mitchell's out. So yeah, it is kind of a trip to imagine having the ability to, create a cyber guy. Cyber guy. Cyber guy to the rescue. Da, 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 da. Okay, we're going to go back into our library and pull up some stuff. Coachella, I hope, was a fun experience. A lot of fun things that happened at Coachella. I didn't get to go.
Violent confrontation between a suspect and police. Surveillance video showing that man struggling with officers inside of a holding cell at a Pennsylvania police station. The officer calling out taser, taser, but actually shooting the man in the stomach with his firearm. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
This newly released surveillance video captures the moment a police officer shoots a man point blank in the stomach while in custody. Officials now saying it was a mistake. It happened in March in a holding cell at the Bucks County Jail near Philadelphia, where Brian Reiling was being held on intimidation charges after an altercation with his girlfriend. In the video, you see Reiling take off his belt when a small plastic bag falls on the ground. You see him try to cover the bag with his foot, and that's when the scuffle with officers begins. Reiling reaches for the packet. Then you hear the officer yell, "Taser!" But he grabs his gun instead, shooting Reiling in the stomach. Reiling falls to the ground, shot and stunned. You said there's a gun? The month-long investigation into the shooting found the officer wore his taser and his firearm on the same side of his body. Officials say that's a violation of department policies, but not a violation of the law.
The officer had a genuine mistake and honest belief that he was using his taser when instead he shot Mr. Reiling.
An honest mistake. Oh, come on. Give me a break. That guy needs to be fired. They both need to be fired.
In the stomach.
Reiling was seriously injured in the shooting. He spent days in the hospital. He has since been released. The officer, who has not been named, was placed on administrative leave during the investigation. He has just retired. Tom?
Steph.
I think he was more retarded than retired. I'm retired. I mean, come on. I'm retired, like Borat said. How are you doing? I am retired. No, I mean, we know you're a retard, but how are you? I'm retired. Yeah, so we've got that. We've got a great article if you want to read something tonight about Bill and Hillary and the connection to human trafficking. Came to us from Scissor Fight, Corey's Digs. He's got a real solid article going for some of you who are in depth, doing political investigations of your own. He dug deep and he found all kinds of connections between Hillary, human rights, and trafficking. Big time. Yeah. I'm going to research it tonight. I'm going to go through it and analyze it. But yeah, it's full of information, in-depth research. I'll give that to you over at iBlog as well. Yeah, so it's kind of a relaxing evening. News is kind of a trickle. Omar is... obviously not happy about getting, direct conflict with Donald Trump on this issue, but they both have freedom of speech in this country, and that's what goes on, whether we like it or not. We may have different views politically, but, somehow we meet in the middle and kiss. Oh, sorry. I'm just doing the Republican and Democratic kiss, hoping that all of us will just kiss and make up. Okay, let me work it out here. Okay, one big kiss, everybody. That's right. Mwah. All right, Los Angeles County alone, there are 41,000 transients living on the streets. And that's just in LA County alone. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, don't get too excited. Oh no, more Skid Row. Oh yeah. We really passed the tipping point of danger, says Reverend Andy Bales, on the homeless problem.
The LAPD releases video of a standoff with an armed man at a downtown LA restaurant. Officers were able to defuse the situation without firing real bullets. We are seeing more and more situations like this one around LA where someone who seems disturbed, usually homeless, is posing a danger to others in everyday situations. KCAL 9's Hermela Arwagawi spoke to an advocate who says this is a health issue first and the city needs to do more about it. Just a warning, this video might be disturbing to some.
I ain't dropping nothing. You got no right to tell me that.
It's a sad scene that advocates say is becoming too familiar.
At this point, I'm very concerned about everybody in LA because we really passed the tipping point of danger because we've left so many people for so many years to be devastated on the streets.
All right, man, we just want to talk.
New LAPD body cam video shows a homeless man inside a downtown cafe who appears to be disgruntled and is holding a knife. A woman who was inside the restaurant told officers the 68-year-old threatened her.
He pulled a knife about this big and he said, "Shut up or I'm going to slit your throat."
As you can see in the video, multiple officers try to talk the man out of the restaurant, but he refuses to come out and at one point tells police he has a gun.
Look, I got a gun right here. You got a gun? Don't be pulling it out.
Police eventually fire half a dozen rounds of non-lethal force as the man uses a chair to block the bullets. They grab the knife and eventually take the man into custody. LAPD says he was treated for injuries to his hand. Earlier this month, another man who is believed to be homeless was taken into custody after he randomly punched two people, including Jack Osborne, at a Studio City cafe.
It's ramping up.
Reverend Andy Bales of Union Rescue Mission says the homeless and mental health issue in LA has reached a breaking point.
We've left far too many people for far too long on the streets, 41,000 in LA County alone. But the longer you leave people on the street, the more danger is to the folks you leave on the streets. But what we don't realize is the more danger there is to everyone else.
And that was Hermela Arwagawi reporting. Reverend Bales says he's been doing this work a long time and has been hoping for a change of heart in LA about the crisis. He says maybe now that the danger is spreading to everyone else, the city will do something about it.
Wow. Yeah, it's definitely an issue that needs to be addressed, no question about it. I really am concerned that we don't have mobile medical units like these that we could deploy and then also get service units out there for people and create the mobile service unit as well, the MSU. Yeah, there's no reason why we can't when you think about it. Right. Introducing the MSU. Mobile Service Unit Rapid Response. Every single unit could have bathrooms, showers, washers and dryers, mailboxes, you name it. And also outdoor seating with tenting and a supply of clothing that circulates from thrift stores and even a dumpster that could actually take dirt and crap in from people who don't want to pollute, who are living on the street. And a lot of these people are dealing with poop too. We'll also have a poop receptacle if they can't seem to make it to the mobile service unit in time and they poop in a plastic bag. Yeah. So we'll have the poop receptacle for you. And what else would be good at the mobile service unit? Anyone? Any ideas here? Mailboxes, somebody said, Wi-Fi charging. Yeah, and each unit can cost around $2 million. Completely replete with even an onboard staff member who can, provide decent solutions to people who are facing a crisis. Somebody trained, like a big 6'4" or 5" military guy with full regalia who's capable of helping people in a holistic way. Yeah, like a RoboCop. Ma'am, hello. May I help you? It is important that I have the opportunity to talk to you. Please stop, or you will be detained. Remove your clothing and prepare for a full body cavity search. Prepare the ointment. Yeah, so we'll have a person on staff to deal with any kind of rowdy people. Yes. Now, as far as spent needles are concerned, we'll have repositories for those. Offering spent needles, offering needles